Now, we are getting ourselves a late start today at the model table. And yes, I did come back to the model table last night for a little while. There is going to be a bit of a rollback here. I tried to explain why yesterday's episode was late uploading to YouTube, like just over 3 hours late. It was my fault, it wasn't YouTube's fault. Anyway, and the sunrise this morning, I'm noticing I've got the pan tilt zoom still on the where the sun was supposed to come up. Well, it did come up, but it was just a very faint glow in the sky, not even worth looking at. Anyway, let's do our roll back here, and then we'll see you when that's over. Okay. Undoubtedly, there's probably a lot of you that are wondering how come the episode 1028 was late. Well, what happened was I thought I would increase the bit rate on the video and try and improve the quality, and I guess I increased it too much, and YouTube just couldn't process it, or at least if they did, it was probably going to take all evening or something. So I decreased the bit rate, uploaded it a second time, but I didn't decrease it enough. So what I've done now is I've gone back to what I believe it was in the video before, where it worked, and it's uploading right now. In fact, it's probably going to be ready in about 10 minutes from as I speak here. I'll go check it out later. Now what I've got here is the jack stand, I guess you'd call it that. It's not really a stand, it's sort of I guess you'd call it the jack stand. Remember, we didn't put it on, and I'd forgotten exactly what shape it was, so I've rolled back here to step 29, and then I spent about half an hour looking for this thing, and then I thought, maybe I stuck it in a test tube. I thought it was in a tin. That's the way I remembered it. But maybe we kept the one for the Bismarck in a tin, Anyway, here it is. We got it, and I just wanted to see how does it go on here, because we're going to have to somehow do something with the railing, and I do believe it goes right there, just like that. I don't think it goes on the end. I think it goes back. It's kind of hard to tell here, although if you follow the arrow down, the arrow does have it going right on the very bow. So then the ladder, so I'm wondering, should I have the ladder sort of U-shaped here and come that sort of thing? But did I say ladder? I meant railing. Maybe I'm getting tired here. Maybe I should go check on the video. Let's put this thing back in the test tube where we're not going to lose it. Somebody was asking me, why do I have test tubes in my workshop? Well, I find that they're really handy for storing stuff. Not because I think I'm any kind of a chemist or something, but yeah. Well, our video did upload okay. It uploaded as per normal. So I won't be making those changes again anytime soon, I can tell you that. Now, better not have any more coffee here. It's getting too late for that. And one reason it took me so long to get back here to the model table is because there was a lot of comments and I wanted to answer them, and yeah, thanks for the comments. And not too many people told me to, in fact nobody actually came right out and said that table saw is dangerous, although Peter, you came pretty close. Yeah, that was funny. I appreciate comments like that. Yeah, and I appreciate the ones that where people are saying be careful. I guess I was just getting a little bit oversensitive there. You know, for a while there, I was getting comments regularly about how my fingers were too close to the blade, and I just wanted to scream by the time I got through some of those episodes. Anyway, I was back in the workshop days. I don't have that problem so much anymore, unless I go down in my workshop and use my table saw. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning, and I'm not going to drink any more of this, right? Well, it is morning here, and I am just wondering if I should be putting this on now. And if I put it on now, how many times are we going to break it off? I was wanting to save it for last, except that, well, maybe I can sort of, let's say I was to sort of hold it here and then move our railing forward. Where's something to poke with here? Now, this isn't Mr. T's poking device, but it will do. Now, I want to have that right on the end. If I bring this forward, where is this going to come so that it looks believable? See, it only has to look believable as far as I'm concerned. I'm not too terribly worried if it wasn't like that on the real ship. Okay, like as I mentioned, I could have it come all the way around and then make sort of a U-shaped thing. Like, remember that famous scene in the Titanic movie, I believe it was, where the gal was standing on the bow and she was sort of holding onto a rounded railing, sort of leaning forward and pretending she was flying or something, if I remember. It's so long ago I saw that movie, now I can't remember for sure, but I kind of remember that. And the railing was rounded like this. I could do that, but then it's not gonna mesh up with this. And this is already bent a little bit. I notice I don't know if it was like that on the sprue already, or did I maybe bend it a little bit with handling. I think it was like that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, by that I mean I'm just going to put our railing down and just sort of have it right about like that. Now, there's another little problem. Let me carefully put that down here. Now, the other little problem is, where's something to point with? Okay, where these fair leads are, it appears that, now you can't see it because I'm on the other side of you, but the bottom rail does fit quite nicely along there, and somebody's mentioned that this part right here, and also this one here, that a couple of the rails were removed. Now, I don't know if I'm going to want to go to all that messing around. I'm just sort of thinking that maybe I'm better off just sort of, fastening it down here. I think that I'm just going to go ahead and fasten it down, something like that. Now, I know that's not correct. On a real ship, it would not be like that because the rails would be in the road. Now, as far as rails being in the road, this could have been a chain that could have been unhooked, so that when they wanted to run the ropes through the fair lead, it was out of the way. But the post would definitely not come right there. It just wouldn't be there. It might be right here, and then maybe another one right here. But they wouldn't have the post right there, I don't think. But nobody's going to be looking at it that close anyway. All right, let's hook up some of our holder dowers that we made yesterday and see what we can do here. Okay. Now, I was just realizing I've only got one holder donger made up here. I don't think that has to go in very far. Now it can be bent whatever way I need later. Okay, let's do some more here. Okay, so sometimes you don't realize problems that you're going to encounter until you actually try something. Now, what I was finding was that if I was to try and, position a whole bunch of these holder downers all the way along, and then spot weld, so to speak, with CA along the bottom rail, after the rail is positioned perfectly in place, what happens is this one is holding it down pretty much exactly where I want it. Now, if I try to position the next one down and I, go and adjust this rail out a little bit so that it matches where it's supposed to go, and as I'm fumbling around here with the second holder downer, I will knock the first one loose. And it's just sort of like a domino effect. You knock one down and it just isn't working as I had hoped. So I'm going to have to go ahead here and very, very carefully just CA. Are we getting it? I don't think we got any on there. Oh, we did that time. Okay, now I don't need to worry once that cures. Oh, another thing. I am not going to be using the curing agent. I'm just going to wait. Okay, now I can see that the bottom rail on this side of that smaller fair lead is in the right place. So I'm just going to put a little bit there. You can't see it. Okay, so when that cures, unless I yank on it accidentally, it's not going to come off. Now I'll be able to take and move the holder down a little bit and do it the way we did the Bismarck. Earlier this morning when I was checking my email, in the corner of my eye I saw a rabbit hop into view in the carrot pad cam. Yeah. Now, I know that most model builders are probably not too interested in rabbits. Now, some people are, and they enjoy this sort of thing, and they sort of look forward to it when I put it in. But I think probably a lot of people don't. So, if you're one of those people who don't, well, just scrub ahead to the time that I'm going to drop in the bottom of the screen right now. Now, while I'm sitting here watching our little furry friend try and scrounge around in that snow, I knew that there wasn't very much left out there. Maybe, I'm guessing at the most 4 or 5 little, slices of carrot. Yeah, I was feeling kind of bad because last night I sort of shrugged it off and I thought, oh, I won't bother putting any carrots out, and I didn't. So, yeah, well, we're going to fix that. Our camera here is still in night vision mode, and everything is sort of reversed. Yeah, like our little friend's eyes are kind of light. In fact, they're very light. They look like little headlights on a little car. But of course, we know why that's happening. But at least the snow is white. Now, those of you who have been watching my YouTube channel will know that I'm really big into cameras and photography and all that kind of stuff. And this pan tilt zoom that I'm using right now it's pretty good. It's not 4K, it's about 2K for those of you who are camera buffs. Now there is a new camera that just came out, and it is 4K, and it does have a much better zoom ratio. I have never used it. I've never seen any footage that it has taken. I've just read the specs on it, and it's quite impressive. Unfortunately, the recorder system that I have with my Lorex security system, it won't handle it. I'm kind of disappointed in Lorex for not letting me know. Well, of course they didn't know what I like to do, I guess, so it's not really their fault. Anyway, I am thinking of upgrading so I can use this particular camera. I have a few ideas. For instance, for the sunrise cameras and so on, I've been thinking of getting a self-supporting pole of some kind, like like a TV mast or something like that, and get it up high and be able to look around. I have a lot of really crazy old man ideas right now. Yeah, we'll see what happens by the end of this summer, because it would have to be done in the summertime. Couldn't do anything now, and it could be that in a few months I just won't feel like doing it anymore. Well, we'll see what happens, right? Now, I was just thinking about what I had just said there, and all these crazy ideas that I come up with. And yeah, it's easy to come up with wonderful ideas while I'm sitting here in what one of the viewers described as the Sherman tank of chairs. Yeah, my big green homemade chair that I made about 3 years ago. It's very comfortable, and it's so easy to come up with all kinds of ideas. But when I go to stand up to actually carry out those ideas, well, things change real fast. Now I realize that some of you are probably thinking this rabbit segment looks a lot like the last one. Well, how many different ways can I do this? There's only so many ways that you can feed a rabbit, right? I have mentioned this before, and it has become, you might say, a habit or almost a ritual. And I've been doing it for about 2 years. Well, ever since I started putting out carrots for the rabbits. And that is that after I put the carrots on the pad or wherever I put them, I tap the dish on the cement, and it makes a very loud bell-like ringing sound. And it is my hope that that sound carries to wherever the rabbit's lair is, or burrow. I guess rabbits have burrows, don't they? And at least I think that's what you call it, a rabbit's house. And they will hear that, and they will think, fresh carrots, and they'll come a-running. Well, as you're going to see here, one did. Not right away, if you notice the time in the upper right-hand corner, but eventually, one did. Okay. Several minutes has passed here now. I don't think we need to worry about having this come loose. And I think it's probably safe to remove our holder downer. Now, I think what I'm going to do is just move along here and do the rest of the railing off camera. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got a coffee visitor. He's going to be here in just a little over an hour, and I haven't got the final edit done yet, and I don't want to have the problems with YouTube that I had yesterday. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.